Hey everyone, it's Libby from Meister Tarot. I'd like to acknowledge the Worimi First Nations people. It's W-O-R-I-M-I, and welcome to you, your guides, my guides, and the universal energies. Yes, 1,000 times, million, zillion times better than yesterday, which they were looking like chopped liver. So yes, we have found yet another culprit. So that particular liquid soap is supposed to be a dermological, you know, hypersensitive one. Won't be using that again, haven't been using it for a couple of weeks. And I shall try not to put up nudie photos again today. Yeah, not quite sure where was it armpit hair or something like that threw it off? Anyhow, hopefully that doesn't get me pinged again today. Entertainment only. What am I going to have a look at in this particular reading? So, on early today, going out to lunch with my bestie, and which we try and do about once a month. So that's why it feels like, my goodness, she's going out to lunch again. So what do I want to have a look at? Well, first of all, oh goodness me, again, where do I start? Oh, talk about having a crack at the Aussie reporter that dared to ask about him making money while he's in the White House. Yeah, boy, oh boy, I wish journalists around the world would actually step up and actually be journalists instead of just patting for appeasement. But anyhow, just note there are, the shade that gets thrown on a certain somebody over in London at the moment. For example, there was no red carpet when getting off the aeroplane, despite the very impressive military reception. Yeah, Poms know how to do that well. And if you remember correctly, when Obama went to visit Queen Lizzie, uh, the Queen and Prince Philip actually drove to the plane and picked them up in their private vehicle, from what I understand. So there's a bit of shade. And also Lizzie wore the brooch that the Obamas had given them. So yeah, there's a bit of shade being thrown. Just know that it wasn't... the invitation came from the government in the United Kingdom, not necessarily, I mean, the royals had to extend it, but they extended it on behalf of the government. Okay, what else is in news today? Bernie Sanders has come out and flat out said that Israel is committing genocide in Gaza. Absolutely, 100%, undeniable. Oh, and it was confirmed from lab reports that Alexei Navalny had been poisoned by the Russians. Yep, we knew that as well, but it's good to have it confirmed. And I do like that Lula da Silva, the Brazilian leader, has come out and said, no relationship with the orange twerp at all. So, yeah, he's been getting some shade from around the world, but I'm not actually going to have a look at the orange twerp today. What I'm going to have a look at is the Kirk widow. Got to watch what I'm saying. So I'm going to call her EK. Now, news has come out about EK that, and I posted it in my post section, so if you go to the little pink circle that has it's a roses picture done to me, drawn, painted for me for my 50th birthday by the beautiful Val Maude, M-A-U-D-E, or click on Meister Tarot under any video. It'll take you to the main page and you can find the post sections there. There was I think it was Instagram post reel that was put out. I have put a summary of what the reel was about for those that don't have access to actually view it. Basically, it came out and, oh gosh, I need to go out and buy myself some more red string for this corkboard. I'm wondering whether I now start changing colours because you can't see the red string for the red string on my Connecting the Dots corkboard. So EK, it's now apparently, if you go back in her history, when she was single before she married Kirk, she was invited to be a model and pageant girl, if you want to put it that way, for Miss America back in the day when the Orange Twerp owned Miss America. She was also apparently at the time a casting representative, so in other words, going out and finding people for the modelling agency. Apparently also at the time, allegedly entertainment only. I'm just going off this information that this person has discovered. She was also the owner of a evangelical religious group that was working in Romania, that the locals in Romania have accused these evangelical groups of kidnapping children from these particular poorer areas. And these children were traced to places like Israel, I think the UK, and also to certain private islands as well. Now, she apparently, before she got connected with Kirk, she was very wealthy in her own right. Wonder where that money came from. Because unless you're a supermodel, you don't actually make that much money. So apparently she was worth millions before she teamed up with Kirk. However, set up a GoFundMe page. Like, why? Why, if you're worth millions before you marry Kirk and then you inherit his millions as well, why would you need a GoFundMe page? Now, so I want to have a look at what I can glean about EK. Just very quickly going to mention the information that's coming out about Tyler. I'm going to put it out there, right out on the limb there, that do not believe anything that the official channels put out there. I got, what was it, a week ago or 2 weeks ago before this even happened, to not believe what your eyes are telling you, go with your intuition. They're putting out there that apparently the weapon was concealed down the trouser leg. If you have a look at the video footage that was the stills from the video footage that was released, I don't know how one gets something down one's tight jeans trouser leg. There's no way on that trouser leg one could have actually concealed anything. They weren't super tight, but they weren't loose. They were definitely not baggy. And I'm just going to put it out there, those tweets that, texts that they are publishing. What 22-year-old do you know anywhere in the world that calls a romantic interest partner my love? Now, to me, those texts, first of all, there were no emojis, there was no shorthand, there was no Gen Z slang or anything like that. It really read like, we need to establish that there was this relationship and it was put together by something who was a Gen X, Gen X, or a boomer. It just read really long, really wrong. And then you've got also the supposed note under the keypad as well, handwritten again. Aside from writing a shopping list on the fridge, yes, I've got a fridge with a front there you can write with a whiteboard marker for the shopping list. When did Gen Z actually handwrite anything? So a lot of things just don't add up. They just really don't add up. I've also put a video over on the post section from an expert who's talking about the angles of the projectile. Doesn't add up there either. So what I want to have a look at though is I want to have, oh God, I put it back and the guide said no. There it is. So they've put they're throwing this card out at me. So I'm going to ask about this card. And the second card they put out there was the Fool. So to be honest, I'm going to say don't believe anything unless it comes from the mouth of Tyler Robinson, and even then look at the situation around it. When he was on camera being charged, the footage that put out, he had no lawyer sitting with him. He said nothing except his name. Nothing has come from the lips of Tyler himself. So you've got the young person here bringing forward potentially evidence. We've also got the fool, foolishness, being set up as the fall guy, as the fool. Okay, but I want to have a look in this particular reading. Show me what we need to know about EK. Now, the Lover's card just dropped out and showed itself to me, so let's see where this goes. So, the Fool and legal representation here. Hope Tyler has very good legal representation because there's so much that doesn't smell right about the supposed evidence that is being released by the Patel office. But I want to have a look at EK. Show me EK. What do we need to know about EK? I'm going to do an energies reading. That's what my guides are indicating for me to do. And this deck is the Gilded Tarot Royale, if you like the deck. Okay, what do we need to know about EK? Okay, the Six of Wands. Some viewers say this is riding in as a winner, the victory card, but for me it's always a false victory. A false victory with the messaging. Because nobody is actually cheering. There's lots of wands here. There's figures on top of the horse. The horse looks incredibly uncomfortable being in the crowd, and the figure on top doesn't look very happy either. So for me, this is very much about a false victory. Ooh, okay, the messaging coming out. You'll notice also that Miller is now aligning himself with Shady Vance. Vance took over Kirk's podcast for a couple of days. Oh boy. Neither of them are liked. I put it in my post section as well. You've got just stay out of the way because the factions are going to start tearing themselves apart. You've got the Fuentes versus the Boys That Aren't Proud versus the Kirks versus the Bannons versus the Owens. Candace Owen is starting to say this really stinks. You've got the Shapiro, now not the Governor Shapiro, it's a different Shapiro, I believe, versus the Vances versus the... Let them at each other. Just stay out of the way. Okay, right. So we've got a false victory here in regards to a message that was put out. Okay, I'm doing an energies reading on EK. Here's this figure again. It can be legal representation. She might require legal representation in regards to something like this. Remember, she instantly put blocks in place so the orange twerp couldn't get his hands on Kirk's money. But, by declaring, that... declaring whatever he was going to declare about the podcast. But we've got the King of Swords here, so we've got strategy. Can be strategy, can be legal representation, but I think also the Sword of Truth, but I think this is about strategy. Kirk's very uncomfortable messaging in front of the crowds. And there was action taken in regards to a strategy here. What do we need to know about EK? Yep, action, the energy behind the scenes, action being taken in regards to the messaging, external action being taken, and betrayal. Oh, I wonder if this is Kirk. I wonder if she is the feminine energy that I was picking up behind all this. Okay. Stealing. the stealing, the strategy to steal, the deception, lies. Ooh, oh, gosh, I really, really want to start next question, but let's see where we go. The wheel of fortune turning, the wheel turning, the wheel turned. Karma coming in, catching up. So this is the energy coming out of what's behind the scenes. Betrayal, but we've got karma here. Okay, what's hanging over her? The Hierophant and the Sun card. The higher authorities fully exposing something, finding herself exposed. The outcome. Naivety in the past. The Queen of Wands. So we've got the King of Wands and the Queen of Wands. I suspect this is her. I don't go so much on the astrology because even though I love astrology, my brain is not wired that way. But you've got the King in the past and the Queen in the future. Finding herself entrapped by potentially the strategy or by legal action. And the Queen of Cups. Look at these. I was going to say 3 queens, but it's 2 queens in the future. But it felt like a queen finding herself trapped. The Queen of Cups. So not revealing everything. Now we've also got the dark haired female here. As the lighter head here, I don't know whether there's any blondes in this deck, but the dark hair, I'm just going to say I don't think she's a natural blonde. I think she's a natural dark. But the Queen of Cups, something not yet revealed, but the Two of Cups working together with others and a lot of information coming out very quickly because she's found herself in a nightmare situation. You've got the Chariot at the bottom, so chaotic movement forward, but this could also be her riding in. The Four of Pentacles, something that she's trying to keep hidden or trying to hang on to, her money. You've then got the King of Cups, whoever this King of Cups is. When we find out who the King of Cups is, it's going to be the biggest aha moment. Now, I gather Governor Cox is a water sign. So it might be Governor Cox, but we've got working together with others to bring about this judgment moment. You've got the Six of Pentacles, money changing hands. The Knight of Swords, a harsh truth coming forward, being revealed about something that has been deceptive with that Five of Swords. You've then got the Fool, you've got the Justice, you've got the Star of Hope and Healing, you've got the Emperor, you've got the Empress, and you've got the Lovers card. Okay, so this is taking me to my next question. Look at these majors to end with. The Fool, being played for the Fool or a foolish action. Actions having consequences with the Justice, the Star of Hope and Healing. We've got the Emperor Russia, Emperor Empress, and the Lovers, which are the Emperor and Empress, but the fading male misogynistic energy here. I'm not feeling this is Kirk and EK. This feels more like this higher powered relationship, but I don't feel it's the orange twerp either. Oh boy, could be Shady, the wannabe. Oh boy. Wouldn't surprise me in the slightest if Shady tried to throw over Usha for EK. She's a lot more palatable for those that he's trying to appeal to. But what I want to have a look is EK. Pageant girl, model, casting for Miss America during the period that the Orange Twerp owned it. Is EK in the Epps files? Sorry about using code so much. I mean, you know, when you have a look and see that the bots are onto it, I think she is. I think she is. You've got the Lovers card here, and then truth being revealed and being surrounded by the truth. I think she is, but let's have a full pull on that. Might note for tomorrow how his actual memorial service is going to go, but show me. Is EK? Is she in the Epps files? Her husband was calling for the files to be released. Has she got this dark history? I mean, he must have known that she has this history. Naivety in the past and children. Ick. I'll just put that in randomly, and if it's meant to come out again, it will. Is EK in the Epps files? Oh boy, as I said, I need to go and buy myself some more. Yes. I put that in right in the middle of the deck and shuffled. You saw me shuffle, and there it is again. Something to do with children in the past. Oh, gosh. Challenged. Actions having consequences and justice. Justice being brought. That was her challenge. Now, I'm not saying she organised it or anything like the incident or anything like that, but oh, man, there is so much that just feels so off. In the past, the family being entrapped by the messaging being put out there. I'm going to have to ask if Kirk himself knew that she was in the files. Surely he'd have to have. But yeah, the family, the energy that she was stewing in, finding her family entrapped by the messaging that's being put out there with that Four of Wands. In the past, the Chariot card, chaotic movement forward. Riding in as a winner in the past. Why am I getting Ivana's limo? Okay, let's see where we go. Ghislaine's limo, perhaps. Queen of Pentacles. Pentacles can mean documents. They also mean protection. Could also money. Okay, there's that Queen of Cups again. Oh, if you can hear that door squeaking, sorry, it's my daughter down the hallway there. She tries to be quiet, but the door squeaks. Queen of Cups. There's something that she's not, now that she's older, because the Six of Cups is children, young. Queen of Cups is the older female. There's something that she is not revealing. There's that Fool card externally, the Fool. Again, foolishness externally, trying to get a new start. Did something foolish to get a new start. Internally, again, that Two of Cups, the Lovers card. Now, I poker shuffled them back in. They don't necessarily get really, really well shuffled, but the fact that they've come to the surface again tells me that the energy reading's tying in with this. So externally, new start. Internally, some sort of agreement that was come to, an emotional agreement. You've got the dark-haired man and the blonde woman here. Now, I'm not saying Kirk was in on it. I keep feeling that he wasn't. It was supposed to be a butler type incident. He wasn't supposed. He wasn't supposed to. And what we've seen from the video evidence is that it hit a shield in the chest before being ricocheted up. Did they come to some sort of agreement to do this? Did she come clean to him? The hopes and fears, the truth, the fear is the truth coming out. The Knight of Swords, rash action in regards to the truth coming out, the outcome, this King of Cups again, the Emperor and the Ten of Cups. And the World card, end of a cycle. Okay, again, I don't know who this King of Cups is, but the Emperor I'm getting is shady. The Ten of Cups is shady, trying to appeal to Kirk's followers, but the world, it's just things have ended, and the Hanged Man and fog and poor choices and trying to hold on to her strength and the inability to harvest what was sown, ending with the Minor Arcana Death card, which is the emotional bereavement, disappointment, loss. There she is. There's a hidden agenda, but secrets being revealed. We've got those around her are in this demonish energy. In the face of this loss, so you've got 3 cups spilt here and you've got 3 cups spilt here. In the face of this loss, emotionally walking away, there's an investigation into the snake and the path that is coming. And a young person is bringing forward volatile information. Oh boy, nightmare situation, a lot coming out, whistleblower and big stick. Okay, so I keep getting that he was not supposed to be injured. He's not supposed to be injured. I'm not going to ask if Tyler was meant to be butlered. I just hope he doesn't get Oswalded, Harvey lead. From those cards, entertainment only, allegedly, it appears that yes, she was. The Lovers, and we've got the Queen of Swords here. The internal strategy, the internal truth. I think she was. Oh gosh, what did I just glimpse there? Plan behind the scenes. And we've got the Death card. We've got the Money Trail and the Fool. I can't get over that. Right, let me do these cards in order. Okay, let me do these cards in order. They keep coming, they keep coming. Okay. Okay, let me do this in order. Five of Pentacles, huge change. Huge change where someone's finding themselves out in the cold, thrown out in regards to this is big money, oligarchical money here. We've got the Temperance card, the pouring from cup to cup, the alchemy. You know, you've got item 1, item 2, and pouring from cup to create something new. Again, oligarchical money. The King of Pentacles. Be careful what you wish for, because you might just get it. Betrayal, heartbreak, loss, despair. The Lovers and the Devil card. Yeah, I am going to say that I think, sorry, some of my cards are upside down and I don't read upside down, but as I'm going through them, wow, okay, Page of Pentacles, young person has the information, has volatile information, the inability to harvest what was sown. So be careful what you wish for. The family finding itself in this entrapped position. You've got the Emperor, you've got the King of Cups again, you've got the Strength card again, but you've got the Four of Swords and the Ten of Swords, as she has not shared everything she knows with that Queen of Cups. I hope she's got protection. That's all I can say. I hope she's got protection because she knows what really happened. Okay, let's have a look. Sorry, I'm just checking all my cards are up the right way. It's not that I refuse to read upside down. It's just that that's how I was taught. There's enough negative cards in the deck. So what I'm getting from that is that it was that Two of Cups again, that it was supposed to be a butler incident that went wrong many ways. We're going to find out the truth. Okay, show me. Okay. I'm getting what I'm just been told is she agreed to it, but she wasn't in the planning. Show me. Show me. Show me. What else do we need to know about this? Five of Wands. The infighting, the chaos in regards to the messaging, the throwing under the bus card, volatile information coming out, and the Seven of Cups, emotional confusion, the fog, the smoke and mirrors, an offer being made that, was reluctant to take, or the money gets cut off. That's what I'm getting. A reluctant offer that was made, or the money gets cut off. And there's my Russia card, FSB. Oh, boy. She might tell. The financially independent woman, the whistleblower, the Eight of Wands, and the Judgment card. She may come out in the future. I'm not putting my money on it and tell, but wouldn't be for a long time, because I heard children being threatened. Sorry, a little bit itchy, but refusing to scratch. How does she feel? Okay. How does EK feel? Right, well, there's the downfall, and they're the trying to juggle, decide, off kilter. Things are just really off kilter. How does she feel at the moment? How does she feel? The image of that Two of Cups popped into my mind, and I get this. If you have a look at the card, the female is intently talking to the male over the Two Cups. I get the feeling he knew this was coming. She talked him into it, is what I'm getting. You have to, it's almost like she came clean with him. And this was the way, if it was justice, cycle coming to an end, actions having consequences, the ending of a cycle, the ending of her world, the burden, the female figure here, self-protecting. But we've also then got the Eight of Cups walking away from this sabotage, abuse of power energy. Okay, I'm going to leave it there because, as I said, I'm right down this rabbit hole. Just going to ask my yes/no cards for something a little bit different today. Haven't used them for all of a couple of days. Did Kirk? Was Kirk aware that an attempt was going to be made? Was he in on an attempt being made? Let's have a look. For those that are wondering, yes, no cards, 12 yes, 12 no, and 2 maybes. Was he in on it? Yes. Yes. Did it go wrong? Was it supposed to hit his vest? I mean, it did hit his vest. Did the attempt go wrong? I mean, it would have been a way out for him to change his tune. We may never know. Blank card, followed by yes. Yes, yes. Leave it there. Love to you all. Catch you later.